Welcome back to Pokemon FireRed. It has been a while. So over the past month I have mainly been uploading Mouse PI for Hire. But I'm just gonna keep this in. Over the past month I haven't really done much in the way of training, but I have done some grinding. Yeah, you can tell that I have done at least some, as I said. It's mainly been in the room I'm currently in, honestly. I just run around, like, right at the entrance to this place. I actually found time to do said grinding. Oh, if only it were this quick and effective. It typically was not. The method that I found when I was on a business trip was to take my Switch with me to the fitness center, utilize a treadmill, and just walk on that while just grinding here. I'd get my steps in, and I would do grinding this. I have to do the strength puzzle again, don't I? Oh, that's fine, I guess. I'm still not using any repels, by the way. This is still at least somewhat decent training. That said, I do aim to make it through Victory Road for once. I want to get to the Elite Four. That would be nice, you know? And here we have a non-rock type. But I don't want to have dollar coins crap wrecked by a little Lurch in the shop. It's actually happened. Yeah, behold the fruits of overgrinding. Primarily while walking on a treadmill. Yeah, I'm actually not kidding about that. I'd set my Switch 2 up on said treadmill in a way to where it would rest on essentially a stand. I would take the Joy-Cons off and keep them essentially in my hands as I'm just walking. It worked out. Oh, thank goodness that got the limber. I have gotten quite a bit of money thanks to Dollar Coins payday. So when I eventually do get to when I eventually do get to the Elite Four, I'll be able to fly to Celadon and buy stuff. Primarily more lemonades. Okay, I cut out that Zubat fight. I forgot what I was gonna say. So I remember what I was gonna say as I was fighting that Arbok. As you can imagine, having to fight a bunch of Onyxes, it was primarily Onyxes that I've been fighting, I got a lot of defense effort values for my Pokemon. In fact, I actually took a snapshot of one of the gains that I believe it was Sprite God. Hang on, showcase that when Sprite comes out. Please don't paralyze. Oh, for crying out loud, it paralyzed. Yes, Sprite gained +6 defense when he grew to level 53. So, yeah, Sprite's a bit of a tank now. A tank that temporarily might not be able to fight much, but a tank. Also, Dollar Coin is level 49 now. There's his stats. Slash, let's take a look-see. I guarantee it is great and all. But I think a high crit hit ratio might be a bit more helpful. And I do still have some of my supplies here as well. I initially used some when I started to do my grind a little over a month ago. I decided against that and figured that the Pokemon Center wasn't that far away. It dawned on me while finding that Onyx that I forgot to switch out Dollar Coin with Let's Throw in Mr. Rossetti. I'm sorry, Mrs. Rossetti. Sorry. Of course, we fight the Primeape. Have an earthquake. Yeah, that worked. Why couldn't the encounter rate be this generous when I was intentionally grinding? That would have been super helpful during my not necessarily hour-long treadmill walks. Yeah, ooh, Chris in a row. Yeah, it's closer to 30 minutes. But the point is, I got steps in. At least I'm encountering the evolved Pokemon. Well, right now, Onyx gave some good experience, don't get me wrong. There haven't been too many times during my grinding sessions in which PP became an issue. There were some, and wait a minute. It was an item. How did I not grab that? An actual trainer! Holy crap! I mean, hey. Have an earthquake. If you don't like it, I can bring out... Oh, never mind. Hey, thanks! Well, I'm not doing that again. Well, I say that, but, actually, in Brilliant Diamond, I do not remember if I made it past Victory Road or just gave up in the middle of it. I know that I don't want to go back to that. Sorry about that. The main reason for that is, well, actually there's a couple of reasons. An admittedly big reason is because I just don't want to do the large amounts of grinding that is going to be needed to get the 6 Smeargles up to a level to where they might stand a chance in surviving the Elite Four. Plus, for like 4 of the badges, it wasn't the Smeargles that got them, because they wouldn't listen to me. Yeah, that was particularly annoying. And just continuing on with that playthrough, with that, just lingering in the back of my mind, did not sit all that well with me, if I'm to be honest. And yeah, it really sucked that I had to do that. But I was determined enough to try and see that playthrough go through. It wasn't worth it, mind you. But I gave it a shot. And of course, I can tell you why I had to get the first 4 badges without the Smeargles. Just because I tried to do things the legitimate way. Well, let me explain by that. So, I took inspiration from the Caspri's own 6 Smeargle challenges. But I didn't want to do any... Ooh, this is very leveled. Awesome. But I didn't want to do any hacking or use ROMs. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to use nothing but Nintendo hardware, actual system, actual games, actual Pokemon that were, well, in this case, acquired in a different game. So I caught the 6 Smeargles in Pokemon Sword. Well, yeah, I caught several different Smeargles. And utilized Sword's breeding mechanic to get some Smeargle eggs. Hatched 6 of them, and then sent them over to Brilliant Diamond. As soon as I was allowed to do that anyways. That process really took a while, and I need to throw a gargoyle out front, but that's okay. I'll do that after this if I can remember to do so. So those of you who know a lot more about the Pokemon games than I do can probably see where I made a tiny miscalculation. For anyone who can't, when you send Pokemon over to a different game that you own via Pokemon Bank, the receiving game is going to count those Pokemon as having been traded, and I forgot to switch out. Whoopsies! I'm sure Gargoyle will survive. Yeah, he's fine. Have an ancient power. So yeah, it was a real unpleasant surprise, to put it lightly. To see that once the Smeargles hit level 11, they were no longer listening to me. Alright, so let's make our way down there. Why do I keep forgetting to switch out? This is Rossetti. I know why, I keep running my mouth. Sorry about that. It's not even that late into the afternoon. A Zubat confused Gargoyle, and Gargoyle hurt herself one too many times. Make that two too many times, if you want to be technical. So now she's in with yellow health. But that went well. Oh, so close, so close. So close! Let's get some money for this. Yeah, during my grinding sessions, I'd grind out my Pokemon until they could either not use any more moves or they fainted. But because I want to make it through, I'm going to use items. I don't remember if I fought you two yet. So I'm not going to. I want to make it through this. I want to get to the Elite Four. Is that so much to ask? The answer is technically yes, as far as the game is concerned. You got this, Gargoyle. You've got this, Gargoyle. I am out of coffee, so I need you to have this. There we go. Well. Oh yeah, that's right. I need to bring that boulder with me. Hi, Onyx. Again. Yeah, I know Sprite's paralyzed. But... well... I'm pretty sure he can knock out Onyx in one go. Paralysis willing. I should have said paralysis permitting. That would have made a bit more sense. Oh, me and my silly use of words. There we go. The boulder, Varg. Do not forget the boulder! Okay, ancient power days for the Golbat. Right. You need to use strength on every floor. I'm thinking of going up that ladder next. I hope so. I think I might know why canonically most trainers give up on Victory Road. Because sometimes there's an encounter every 3 steps. Unless you're intentionally trying to grind. Then you might be lucky if you get one every 30. At least whenever I'm at the controls. Okay, progress, and I literally walked into that one. Double battle? Double battle. This isn't so bad, really. Okay. I need you to Ancient Power of the King and just use a strike. Okay, that was not... What? Really? I don't think I've got an antidote for the equivalent berry. Goodbye, Queen! See ya, King! Gargoyle leveled. Awesome. That worked out. Well, I could teach you something. Oh, greatness comes in many forms. Sorry about that. Because I don't want to see the, Oh, I got you put this, okay. Because I don't want to see the poison effect on the screen. And I'm assuming neither do you. Well, if you do, sorry about that. To each your own. I don't judge. Ooh, a crit. Go Gargoyle. Wait, really? Ooh, double edge. No thanks. If I recall, that move hurts the Pokemon that uses it. But that's not important right now. What's important is that there's nothing over here. But more importantly than that, there's a maze. A not very complex maze, but I didn't make it through in one go. We're at the Indigo Plateau, aka the Elite Four, or where they like to hang out. Yo. Pokemon League, Indigo Plateau, multiple names, and I got neither of them. I was about to say 9 of them. That would not have made sense. Well, not really. How about I heal the Pokemon first? Because thank Giratina, I made it through, finally. Yeah, Giratina. Is there a store here? Yes, there is. What all can I buy with the money I got? Well, there's 4 stores. Revive. Junk. Full heals. Okay, some good stuff. This does seem like it'd be something great to have. So of course I'm going to spend a bunch of money on it. Don't worry. You've got payday. I should probably buy some revives as well. I'm not going to worry about that. Instead, I'm going to deposit good old Arctic Surf and withdraw. You guessed it. On button. Why'd I try that? I ruined the joke. Withdraw Kazooie so I can go buy some lemonades. Can't beat that sort of value, you know. But while I'm doing this... Excuse me. I will tell you about my plan is starting what I am planning on being the next episode. It's not going to make sense. Well, not really. But I'm doing it anyways. I plan on, by starting to throw myself to the Elite Four over and over again. Whoops. We have to do this every time. Lovely. So what I plan on doing is I'm gonna just throw myself at the Elite Four over and over and over again, not really worrying about reviving at first. If things happen to go well enough, then I'll be using some of these easier lemonades to get to heal my Pokemon and just keep on going. In the hopes that I make more money than I lose in the long run. It is a shallow, faint hope, but you never know, it could work out. It could. Probably not. It's probably a fool's errand. But along those lines, at least in the original games, you know, the demo games that were held together with Scotch tape and ABC gum, you will have effectively made it to the point where money is no longer an issue. As in, you can get all the money you could ever want in the game. Legitimately, at least. Of course, that's not a thing you had to worry about much in this game. And I am discounting the use of Payday because, well, in my playthroughs of Pokemon Red, the original, I never had that move. Like, ever. I mean, I've probably used it a few times. So, yeah, that kind of defeats what I just said. Oops. Well, at the point stands, I never really relied on it. At least, not as much as I have in this playthrough. I've probably told this story as well, but my brother, when he played through his own game, Yellow, I believe it was in. Yeah, it was Pokemon Yellow. He saw Payday and instantly got rid of it. Well, he got the Payday TM, and he instantly got rid of it because it was weak. Never mind the fact that I got him free money. And speaking of free money, I have none. You cannot use Fly on the top of an open building. Even though you're on the roof. That's right. Well, let's go back to the ground floor so we can fly off into the sunset, I guess? Yes, you can fly to Indigo Plateau. And even if you couldn't, I would have regretted absolutely nothing. So, as I say, join me next time! In this case, for when I... Why do I keep doing that? Join me next time when I start making a fool of myself. Even more so than I already do. Against the Elite Four. But forget, I'm going to have Adam McSix in the lead here. Doing it this way because, yes. That is why. Just, yes. So... There's the door. My name is Vorangensix, and I thank you for your time.